He's gone. He couldn't go all the way.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
We talking about practice.
You play to win the game.
Playoffs?
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's Division I football! It's the Big 12! It ain't intramurals!
Awesome. Well, Dan, I'll kick things off and get us going. Thanks so much for joining our podcast with the main man, Dylan, over here. I always just, to kind of get us rolling, tell us a little bit about, kind of growing up, where you grew up, kind of up through high school, I guess. Just a little bit of background, you, fam, friends.
Yeah, for sure. So originally I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I used to live in Milwaukee for about 12 years, and then I moved to a suburb of Milwaukee about 20 minutes north called Cedarburg, Wisconsin, where the rest of my family lives now. Extended family, everybody's there, so it's great. Both my parents, Mike and Sarah, they're amazing. I have 4 siblings, big family. I'm the second oldest, and I have an older brother who's 23, a younger sister who's 17, a younger brother who's 13, and then the youngest is 8. So big family growing up, loved it. Big sports family growing up. I've always, enjoyed sports, and I used to play football, basketball, and baseball year-round until probably, I think, my freshman or sophomore year of high school. So always loved the sports, and then obviously in high school, I just my body's changed a little bit. I got pretty big. I've always been a big guy, but big enough to the point where I was like, I probably should, pursue college football. And I love football, obviously. So, I think my sophomore year is kind of when I decided that I wanted to pursue playing at the next level, aggressively. And then from then on, I, dedicated most of my time, if not all, to football and training throughout high school, all the way up to my senior year where I committed to Michigan ultimately to complete that goal to play at the next level. So, yeah, and then I came here, and here we are today.
Yeah, it's awesome. And when you were a kid, did you really know, you said you played basketball, baseball, football. When you were a kid, was there a sport that you really leaned more to or wanted to play more?
It was definitely always football, just because, like I said, I was always a big guy, always a lineman. I play offensive line, so I've always loved it. My dad is also a huge football guy, like always just you're playing football no matter what. So I loved it growing up all the way. And then I would say my number 2 is probably basketball, just because I'm a tall guy too. I've worked at my advantage, a big guy. Loved the defense, rebound and all that stuff, getting aggressive. But yeah, definitely football, I would say.
Yeah, that's cool. I love being with a lot of people. Having a big family must have been cool. Yeah. I'm an only child, but.
Hey, man.
Kick us off with your first
very
question.
Different.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, it's fine. So you grew up as a Wisconsin Badgers fan. How did you end up as a Michigan Wolverine?
I love that question. It's honestly probably my favorite question when I get asked, because growing up, I hated Michigan. I did not like them at all. It's because they always beat Wisconsin. I was the biggest diehard Badger fan. And, originally, I forgot to mention this before, when I was in high school, I really only wanted to play for the Badgers. Like, that was the goal. I wanted to go to Wisconsin and play football because at the time it was, a pretty big O-line school and pumped out a lot of draft picks and stuff. So it was always set on my mind. I read everywhere in my house, still to this day a little bit. But obviously things changed when they never said a word to me in high school recruiting, not a single word. So they didn't recruit me at all. And so I'm on a visit to Iowa State with my dad to go to a camp and a visit. And it's my junior year going into my senior year. And Coach Newsom at the time had texted me. He's like, you want to come to our camp? Like, come on a visit, come to the camp. And I was like, what? Yeah. Like, it's Michigan. Like, all of a sudden it was just like Michigan just texted me like, yeah, I want to go. So I ended up going there to the camp. I did all right. But then I think a couple months later, I came back for a visit again for a game. And then, I fell in love with the place. There's something about it out here, man. And it is unbelievable. The first time I ever came on campus, I was like, holy crap, this is where I want to be. So yeah. And I was just waiting, in high school, I think it was November-ish at the time. I was waiting for the offer from Michigan. I was like, if they offer me, I'll probably commit on the spot. So, once I got that offer, I didn't commit on the spot, but I committed the next day. I was like, there's no other place I'd rather be than here. And, it's definitely been the best decision I've ever made in my life because this place is special. The people I've met here have been unbelievable. Hence, that's why I'm on the podcast through Michigan Connection, So it's just like things like that. It just makes this place special. And I'm super glad that, I ultimately decided to come here.
Yeah, super cool. Well, you were like getting recruited and stuff. Did you get any other offers that you were kind of like maybe going to take if Michigan wasn't offering
In the
you?
picture? Yeah, I would say definitely Northwestern. I was thinking about, they weren't super high on me at the time, but I was also getting recruited by Michigan. So it was literally, I'm not lying. It was like, I want Michigan is right here. And then like, there's other schools. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I just want this one. But if I had to choose another school, Michigan wasn't the option. Honestly, one of the top ones, which a lot of people don't know about me, is my older brother played football at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, which is probably, I would say, one of the best Division III schools in the country, like just always every year, a powerhouse. And it was like, if I don't go there, it's a Michigan, like I might just end up playing with him. So that was one of the options. And the other one is probably Iowa State as well. Like I said before, I really was like, I want Michigan. Like, that's what I really wanted. There were other schools. There's a bunch of other schools, but like it wasn't anything like Michigan. So
once there was a whisper of Michigan, it was all
like my whole. And it was funny because my dad is a way bigger Badger fan than I am, and he like fell in love with the place. Honestly, more than I did, almost. I'm not even lying. So like, yeah, it's a special place, man.
That's awesome. Sounds like Michigan's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is the most surprising thing about the jump from high school to a powerhouse like Michigan?
I would definitely just say the intensity of of the whole thing, without football too, coming to a big school. Like for me, Cedarburg's a really small town. I was graduated 250 people or so. Like it's not anything crazy. Like 20,000 people in my town. I didn't know what to expect at all. And I came here not knowing a single person. Like nobody from my class came here. I don't know anybody even from Wisconsin that goes to Michigan. Like for me, it was a fresh start. So that aspect was different. But for football, the football side of things, it was definitely the intensity. Just because at the time it was Coach Harbaugh and then Coach Herb in the weight room. So my first really ever taste of like being on the team was in the weight room. And so every day we would have 4 different lifts, but like you only get one of those time slotted, but the freshmen are always at 6 a.m. So every day, the whole summer at 6 a.m., I would have to be in the weight room, at like 5:45, just like, getting ready to work. And so that was every day. And then Saturdays we'd have, running, conditioning, and then some practices. So it was definitely just more intense for me. It was honestly an eye-opening, but I loved it. Like right away, I was like, this is awesome. Like I've been waiting for something like this. So they definitely did. What was that?
I said, was the intensity just about how hard you got pushed in the weight room?
Yeah, definitely. Just because like these workouts are 2 hours long, and it's like, in high school you train hard with your guys in the weight room, in the high school weight room, or if you go somewhere else and train, like it's just different, man. Like the team setting and like everything, it's just like it's a 2 hour lift, like I said, and they make it feel like 2 hours for sure.
How did your mentality have to shift to go from what you thought maybe was intense in high school to what was the work in college?
I would probably just give all the credit to Ben Herbert, who was our strength coach at the time. Coach Herb is the best strength, or probably honestly, if I had to say the most influential person I met at Michigan, it probably would be Ben Herbert, because like the transition that he does and like everything that goes on in his system, it makes it so smooth. And like in college, especially at Michigan, the mental toughness that you have to get trained for, and like they do an unbelievable job of like making sure, like, for example, like we would condition on Saturdays, right? So there'd be some Saturdays where like every Saturday we rumble roll, like a foam roll, and there'd be like the whole team, there'd be 100 lined up on the goal. And one day there was like playing cards next to them face down, right? Next to every single rumble roller. And we were all like, what is this? Like, this is weird. And he blows a whistle and he's like, everybody like look at their card. If you have like I think it was like if you have a face card, then you have to go jump in the cold tub right now, cleats on and everything, and run the conditioning test. And it's like things like that. Like every single day, he would give us some sort of speech of like just like words of wisdom, and it was the way it resonated with the team. It was unbelievable, and it changed my mind. Like it changed me. Like he made me who I am today. He made me a man, and like just being able to spend time with him every single day, like you get accustomed to his mentality, and it ultimately translated over to our team, as you guys saw in 2023. So yeah.
In 2023 you were I
was sophomore.
Yeah, correct. And did you play a lot in that game?
No, so that's the interesting thing about me is when I was 18 years old, I was a freshman. I just completed my freshman year season. I redshirted. It was like January, March, around that time frame. I ended up slipping and herniating 3 of my discs in my lower back, and it was pinching my sciatic nerve. So I ended up having to get back surgery in April of 2023. So that put me out for the whole year of 2023. So I was just rehabbing. So I didn't play in that game or any of them.
Still cool to watch.
The rings are pretty cool to put on too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, man. So
Did you
it's
get a
definitely a
ring?
blessing. Yeah, so that year we won the Big Ten championship, so that's 1 ring. We won the Rose Bowl, so that's 2 rings. We won the Natty, so that's 3. And then this college football playoff, you know how it's separate from the NCAA? You get a ring for that too. So I got 4 rings that year. And the year before that, we won the Big Ten championship, so I got a ring, and we lost in Fiesta Bowl, so I didn't get a ring for that. And then last year, we won the Rely Quest Bowl, so that's a ring. And then, so I think, what is that? 7, 8 rings?
Yeah.
Need more, though. Need more.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So.
It's so fun. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. And it's unbelievable how fast time goes. And that's something I came in constantly. People were telling me that. It's like, you don't realize how fast this goes. And now I'm sitting here graduating in a month from college. It's like, it's crazy, man. Like when you get there, don't take it for granted, man, because it goes fast. And I wouldn't change a bit, but it goes fast.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. So who is the toughest player you've ever played with and against, and why?
Against, no questions asked, Mason Graham. Not even close. I don't know. You know who that is?
He's a lineman.
He's on the Browns. He's actually one of my best friends.
Yeah.
So I came in with him, and it was every day. It was just like, I wish I could describe going against him, because is something that you can't even describe. Like, he was so freakishly athletic, in every single play, he could beat you any which way he wanted. And that's how it was in the game too. Every single play, he could, like, man, I would ask him after the games, he'd be like, how's his other O-line? Like, and he'd be like, not good. Like, they're garbage. Like, it's just like, that dude's a freak. And it didn't help that the other D tackle that we had at the time was Kenneth Grant, who was also a first-round draft pick. So those 2 dudes inside, that was definitely not very fun to go against every day in practice. And so without a doubt, that's the toughest player I've ever had to go against. And then toughest player I've ever played with, I don't know. I'd probably have to go Zach Zinner. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's also on the Browns. So I was a freshman, and I was freshman and sophomore when I played with him. He was a starting left guard or right guard when we won the Natty. He's the one that broke his leg against Ohio State. But, he kind of took me under his wing when I first got there. And, I saw everything that he's ever had to go through injury-wise, and like just everything. And it's unbelievable. Like, he's a tough dude. Yeah. And I definitely, that was my role model in college, and he's a tough dude. Trust me. So definitely him.
Is there an opposing player from another team that you're like, man, that guy got it done? He was tough.
Yeah, I never played against him, but in the Rose Bowl, I heard that Dallas Turner was unbelievably good. I don't know. I think the dude from Oregon last year was pretty good, Derek Harmon. I don't know if you guys know who that is. I don't know what team he's on now, but he was good. There's a lot of good. The Big Ten talent is pretty unbelievable when you look back at it. It's everybody's good. That's the thing about this level. Like, I could say anybody, and they're all just as good. Like, everybody's good. And then when you get to the NFL, then everybody's perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievable. That transition is way different than high school, but yeah, everybody's good in college. So
Yeah. So what is your favorite memory from Michigan's national championship season?
the season, if not the game or the Rose Bowl, probably the parade after. That was a pretty fun time. It was just like that. To me, that's some things you dream about as a kid. It's like you see those dudes on TV parading after they win the Super Bowl and stuff like that. Like to be able to sit in the back of a truck, with like thousands of people in Ann Arbor, midwinter, just like crowded. Like that's a memory I'll never forget, for sure. So I would definitely say that if not the game itself.
Yeah.
And I can't remember back to that season, but do you remember like a pivotal play or something that
Yes.
was a narrow miss or pivotal to catapult you to the next step?
Yeah. So you're talking about the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that year was ridiculous with all the stuff that was going on with Michigan at the time, like with the sign stealing and stuff.
Right.
It was a crazy time. Like we didn't even have our head coach for the first 4 games.
That's right.
So so if it wasn't that, it was definitely against Penn State when Coach Harbaugh was suspended again. And it was Coach Moore. And we had it was a tough game for the first half, but then in the second half we ran the ball, I think it was 32 times in a row, and won the game. And the whole program was like we're winning the national championship this year. Like we're willing to go in, arguably the best college football stadium, one of them in the nation. It might have been, I don't think it was a whiteout, but something. It's always rocking there, but to run the ball 32 times in a row at half, that's just pure domination. And Penn State was ranked like 10 at the time, so like it was, definitely the pivotal point. But that whole season, man, we just like the season prior, the transition between the season prior and the national championship year was really cool to see, just because it was kind of before the pre-NIL era. It was definitely before what it is now, but dudes came back solely to win the national championship. Like that was the goal. That was it. Like if it wasn't that, then it was a fail, So it was definitely really cool to see. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fun to see transition. So what is your favorite Jim Harbaugh story?
Oh man. I don't even know where to start. Let me think here for a second. I would definitely, I can't even tell you my favorite one. I can tell you one of them though, because they're all my favorite. First of all, I'll say this: every Monday we would have a team meeting after the game, and like it was one of those things where it's like you have no idea where this is about to go. Like Coach Harbaugh just loved talking about just like everything. Like he loved just life, and he was willing to give everybody the time of day. And it was just so awesome. But there's one time he walks in the team meeting room with like a bunch of papers in his hands, and it's a survey. And he's like, "Hey guys, like, I read this thing, and like, I like the survey, but it determines whether or not you're a field crop or a house plant." And he's like, "So everybody's gonna fill this survey out. If you're a house plant, then you got to get tougher. And if you're a field crop, then you're good. But like we got to get these house plants like turned over." So like he handed out sheets. It was like 50 questions about like toughness and things, and like you add it up and like you determine whether or not you're a field crop or a house plant, and it was just unbelievable. But like the little things like that he would do, just like that just makes him who he is and why he's so great. Like he loved it. He just loved the kids. He loved everything about Michigan. Like it was awesome, and I love Coach Harbaugh so much.
So were you a field plant or a house plant?
I think I was a field crop, if I remember.
Okay, good.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still a house plant, bud.
You got time, man. You're good.
Yeah, you got time. Don't worry about it.
Hey. Easy there.
Hey.
I think that's fun. Just the stupid things like that you do. Yeah. There's
so many, dude. Like I'm trying to think of some other ones. Like it was just his everyday thing. So it's like I can't even think about like I know I don't even know. Like there's so many. If I think of one during this podcast, I'll blurt it out, but I can't. Cool. There's so many.
Yeah. Which professional athlete would you choose as your sidekick in a movie?
Probably Mason Graham because, like I said before, he's one of my better friends, good friends, and we hang out a lot. Obviously, not anymore because he's in Cleveland, so I go and visit there when I can. But he's also really, really strong, athletic. Like I said before, he's a freak. Like his twitchiness is unreal for his size. I think that would be a great little sidekick to have by my side. Somebody that can do it all. So
Yeah.
if not him, I'd probably choose. I don't know. Maybe what's that dude? The backup quarterback on the Colts, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
He's pretty athletic too. I think he'd be a pretty good sidekick.
Yeah. Where did he go to college?
Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest obstacle you've ever had to overcome, and what was your mentality to overcome it?
Definitely my back surgery when I was a freshman. And it's a unique story because it's you just don't hear very often. When I found out that I messed up my back as bad as I did, my athletic trainer at the time had told me that I would just have to be done playing football if I got the surgery.
Wow.
Like the surgery means you're done. But I ultimately talked to my surgeon, the neurosurgeon who did it, and he said, you can make a recovery. He thought that I could come back. So like right off the bat, I was like, oh, like this is going to be hard. But I knew, the recovery could have been anywhere between 4 and 12 months, but I wasn't ready to go by the season. So I just decided to, medically redshirt and just take the time to, take the time that I need to heal. And I would say mentally the biggest challenge was I wasn't able to go to any of the meetings or anything or practice because I was always just getting rehab. So I was away from the guys a lot. My best friends, when you come to college and play college football, like your boys are your best friends on the team, so like being away from them for a whole year was really hard. I would just say the biggest thing that got me through it was just the fact that I wanted to come back and play and prove, everyone wrong. Cause that's obviously gonna be number one, but I also wanted to, I didn't want to quit. I knew that I was young and I like to think of myself as recovering pretty well at things. So like, I wanted to definitely, come back and play. Cause I knew that, being a freshman and only playing 1 year of college football, like I didn't want to do that. Like I wanted to come back and play, at least give it a shot, so I would definitely say those two things.
Yeah. Yeah. Overcoming injuries. It's part of the game. It's really hard.
It is part of the game, yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that. Like I just got home from practice and my body is hurting, Like it's just like always gotta take care of your bodies, man. That's probably the most underrated thing about college football, taking care of your body, So
yeah. That's cool, man. I'm glad that you overcome that. So
Thanks,
what
man.
is football always Michigan?
What was that?
What is football always Michigan?
What does it mean to Michigan? Or like
Well, we heard that you were that you were a leader of a group called Football Always Michigan.
Oh, it's a football alumni in Michigan.
A football alumni.
Yeah, at FAM. Yep, it's called FAM. So what that is I think it's was the only, football alumni association in the country. And so what it is, it's an alumni network of over 1,000 people that that played football at Michigan or were like a coach or like a manager, anything to do with the program, you could be in it. And so what it does every year for our team is every year before the spring game, the night before the spring game, we have a huge networking event where they bring in like 100 of former players that are wildly successful in life right now. And then, they have our whole team, everybody dresses up in our indoor practice facility and we network, you fill out a survey, to decide what you ultimately want to learn about and hear about, like whether it's marketing, engineering, anything, like literally anything. And they would set it up to where you would meet with the people that they brought in that, are around that field. And it basically is just like a great way of, the doorstep between college football and, the real life, because a lot of people know that like it's hard for a lot of college athletes to do that transition. And, it's definitely a great help. And the other thing that they have is it's called Wolverine Hope. And it's a 24/7, mental health hotline. Anytime, anyone can call it, like at any point in time, and it's fully funded, like fully free, like everything's free. Like it's a great resource and it's unbelievable, and they're a really good job. And I've had the privilege to be the first current player ambassador for FAM for the team, so that was pretty exciting. I have a team with a few other guys. What we do is basically just, inform the guys about what FAM is, because a lot of people don't even know what it is because it's so, like it's under the radar. But my job is basically to educate the guys and then hook guys up when they need it. Say this guy wants to do an internship over the summer with something along the lines with business. I just hit up, FAM, and I'm like, yo, this guy, he wants help. Like he wants to do something. And it's literally just like that. You get something. So it's a really good thing. And I love it a lot.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's great to help people and have a big program.
Yeah.
So who is the biggest mentor, and what is one piece of advice that they have shared that will stick with you?
Mentor, now that I haven't talked to him in a while, but I would probably say it's Ben Herbert. One thing I think like I said before, he said so many things. And I think that the first thing that comes to my mind is probably either you face the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. What that means is, it may be hard sometimes to, like, for instance, in our weight room, we had to, every single day when we weren't wearing our cleats, we'd have to line up our shoes in the goal line, left facing forward and the right facing back, even on the line, not over the line, not behind the line, perfectly on the line with our bottles right to the right of that line, G's facing straight forward. So like the amount of discipline that it took, to be successful, he definitely hammered that home. And then otherwise it was the pain of the regret. It's like, well, maybe if those G's were straight for that workout, that might have been the difference between a game, like it's the little things that mattered to him. So I would just say the little things and then the pain of discipline or the pain of regret,
So what do you think the pain of discipline or the pain of regret means? That's so catchy, but so
yeah.
great.
So,
I think the pain of discipline is more just like kind of the pain of just keep working and going and the little things and move and all that. And then the pain of regret's more kind of like regretting that you didn't like kind of have that discipline or get into the opportunity.
Exactly. It's like we talk about, it's like, yeah, this lift might be hard. It's going to be hard. This practice may suck. But would you rather it suck right now or suck when you lose in the national championship, right? So it's like when you weigh those two options out, it's like I might as well push forward right now because I know it's only going to help me in the long run, So
yeah.
What a great the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Love it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah. So what advice would you give for success in life for sports?
I would definitely, the sports side of things, I would definitely say, especially in college football, the biggest thing I would say is be coachable. And, honestly, I would say this for life too. Again, I'm not really that far in life yet. I'm still in college, but I would just say, first of all, if you're going to do something, do it 100%. Like on the field, we talk about every day. If you're going to mess something up, you might as well go 100% every single time because, it could always make something right. The other thing I would probably say, I'm trying to think here. I had it in my mind. I just forgot it. Shoot, I forgot. I forgot. I just blanked. I'm sorry.
Good. What I heard is just go 100%.
Yeah.
And correct the errors as you go.
Yeah.
But if you're putting in the effort, good things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would definitely say be coachable. That goes for any sport because in college, if you're not coachable, then you will not play. And what a lot of people don't realize is coaches don't care whether or not you're the best ever to do it. But if you can't learn a play or you can't, fix your feet on the one of these drills or, like you're not going to play because you're not good at it. Like you can't take what your coach is giving you and then obviously not translating on the field. So any sport, I would say just be coachable and then, have the next play mentality. It's huge in college football, in any sport. If you mess something up, like you may think like, oh, what am I doing? Like I'm terrible or whatever. But like you have to have that mindset. It's like, it's the next play, man. You got to go. Like nobody's waiting for you,
How do you, was that a skill that you further developed in college?
Yeah, 100%.
That next play, but I can't get down. That play's in the past. Always looking forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say my freshman year fall camp, my first ever real practices, it was definitely a rude awakening. I was like, I messed up a lot, really down on myself. But you kind of just learn, just because in college, like I said before, the intensity is unbelievably higher. And so you get a lot more reps. You do a lot more things. So it's easier to, kind of forget something and, just move on. But one thing I will say is when you mess up, always got to watch it in film. So always getting reamed out by the coach, but like at the end of the day, it's all for love. Like that's what they say. It's like, hey, you may mess something up now, and I'm gonna ring you out on the field for it, but that I'm only trying to make you better, and you just got to go on the next play. So that bond between the coach and the player, with the next play mentality is definitely huge. So
it's not like I've heard this from my dad before. It's tough love.
It is.
They're helping
exactly
you in the
what
long term.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I would definitely, like I said, I came to college as a boy, and I'm leaving here a man. I can confidently say that because of, the coaching that I've had and the people that I've met through football. Like these dudes, everybody wants to help, and everybody just wants the best for you, So I agree.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So our last question. So which of your teammates should we interview next, and why?
It depends. What kind of people do you like to interview?
I mean, social, funny, good advice on sports.
Well, I'm an O lineman, so I'm always biased. So I would say any of my guys you would love to interview because they're a lot like me. Funny guys, like just open, great dudes. Honestly, a lot of dudes on our team are really good. I think you guys would like Nico Andrighetto a lot, just because he's kind of in a similar experience as me, graduating, come back for a fifth year. He's seen it all. James Cavicles, he's a safety.
Okay,
yep, he's a safety. So he came in as a running back, actually, and he was the same room as like Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, and he made the switch to safety, and now he's there. So great kid. I definitely like Jordan Marshall a lot too. You probably know who that is, our running back. Yeah. Great kid. Love him. Like everybody's good, man. So I would say anyone. For the most part, you have anyone.
Yeah.
Well, we'd appreciate anybody that you think would be good to have a chat with us. We'd love some helping hands there. And
I got you, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the podcast is sweet, dude.
Thanks.
I love the setup.
Thanks so much.
It's awesome.
We've been having a ball with it. We've had such a diverse kind of cast of characters. From mainly football, but from a handful of other sports. So it's been good. I think for me, like the thing that always, what I think is so special about it is Dylan gets to hear that like life advice about what hard work, what, a strong mental framework, overcoming obstacles, and being able to have that conversation with people that have performed at such a high level is only, what is it? 1% or less of high school athletes go on to play college ball, so it's a very select group. And then to be able to play at a school like Michigan, to be a part of a team that wins a national championship, I mean, all of that stuff is even more rare. So to get to hear from high performers like you is really special for Dylan and I. We really appreciate your time.
Of course, I had a great time, man. I'm definitely gonna put a good word in with the guys. So
awesome.
Keep you guys updated.
Well, we're so excited to have you. Like I told you before, Dylan and I will be up there for the Oklahoma-Michigan game.
Sweet.
It'll be our first trip to Ann Arbor. We had a blast when you guys were down in Norman. All your fans were so great. So we're looking forward to checking out what's going on up in Michigan.
Yeah, great.
So excited to see the big house.
Yeah, you guys are going to love it, man. And I can't wait. Hopefully we can meet in person. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be incredible, man. Sweet. I hope so too. Well, Dan, have a wonderful night. Get yourself some rest after a big day.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Dan. Take care.
Yep. You too, man. See you guys.
He's gone. He couldn't go all the way.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
We talking about practice.
You play to win the game.
Playoffs?
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's the